my stilettos.
Welcome to the Stiletto Room, the unfiltered chat show where no topic is off limits. I'm Dina LaPolt, entertainment attorney, advocate, and tenacious trailblazer. Each week, I sit down with creative visionaries, iconic disruptors, and unapologetic originals to dive deep into work, life, love, LGBTQ plus journeys, social justice, and everything in between. So grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's get real. Because, baby, this is the Stiletto Room. Hi, welcome to the Stiletto Room. I'm Dina LaPolt, and today we have a very special guest. In addition to my fabulous little dog, Gatsby, my close friend and work colleague, who I adore, Alexis Fisher, CEO of Timeline Management and Entertainment.
Hi.
Hello, Alexis.
Hello.
Look, she wants me to feed her chicken.
She deserves it.
She deserves it. So thank you for coming in.
Of course.
I love all the great things we do together.
So do I.
And now we're doing Tinashe.
We are.
Because you hired a fabulous manager, Simone Salitro, who is going to spearhead and run your music division at Timeline.
She is. I love her. And I'm very happy to have Tinashe.
Yes, very happy. So this is all good. But it's not always been this way. I mean, you've definitely been through some obstacles. And as a woman, man, you look where you are today. I mean, literally managing all these big women entrepreneurs and influencers. Now you started a music division. Now you have a touring division. You put all these podcasters on.
It makes me
tour.
sound so cool.
You are cool. Look at your outfit, Queen. You're super cool.
Aw.
But tell us from the beginning.
Beginning, I mean, honestly, it's been 11, 12 years now.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think of that. But yeah, I've always wanted to be in LA. Like ever since I was like a little girl, I thought I was going to be Ryan Seacrest.
Where were you?
I was in Florida. So I grew up in Florida, went to Florida State, and then would literally sit on the internet like stalking anyone who represented a celebrity.
Wow.
To be like, how do I get there? And like I was obsessed with Ryan Seacrest.
Wow.
And
was he on the air then?
Yeah, he would like hosted E! News. He was on every red carpet. And I was like, how do I get there? Mm-hmm. Like, what is he doing? And like, how do I be that?
And did you have any contacts?
No, I knew nobody. I knew not one person ever. I would like sit in my dorm room being like aimlessly emailing every publicist, anyone like connected that would get me on the red carpet. I was like, how do I do that? I ended up getting an internship. And I came to LA, did not know one person. I like stayed in like some random dorm room, I think at like UCLA, and I would like go to a PR company and they did a lot of events. So I would get to go as like the freaking intern.
What PR company and how did you like
so I interned,
knocked on their door?
No, so someone finally emailed me back and they were like, come for an interview. I made my mom come with me across the country to like interview for an internship. And I like hopped off the plane in LAX thinking I was like Miley Cyrus and I made it.
That's hilarious.
And actually, I interned for Slate PR and at the time they were in this building.
They were? 9000 Sunset Boulevard?
Yes, and I like walked in and I saw the view and I'm like, I made it. Like I'm home.
6 degrees of separation.
Right? Literally.
So this was 12 years ago, right? So how old were you?
Like, I was in college. I don't know, whatever. Like 21 years old. And I was just like, I'm here.
I made it.
I made it.
Yeah.
Literally interning, making $0.
Yeah.
But it was like the best.
Familiar to me.
Yeah. And it was like the best thing ever. And all my other friends were like gallivanting around Europe and studying abroad and like doing all those things. And I was just like, I was so laser focused. I was like, I knew I had to do this. And I came here and I got to like, at the time, I think they did, you know, like the Oscar parties and whatever, all these red carpets. And I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Were you getting paid?
No, I was making nothing. Literally, I was like, I need a car, I need a dorm, I need food, I need this, like whatever.
Yeah. That was way before the law changed here. Now you got to pay
interns.
Well, when I was an intern too, I was free, you know?
Free. And I was like thrilled. I was like, please take me, I'll do anything.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So then the next summer, whatever, I did the same thing and I interned. And then I had like one credit left in college. And I was like, why am I going to go back to Tallahassee, Florida for 1 credit? I'm like, that seems so crazy. I'm already here. Like, I'm working. Why am I going to go backwards?
1 credit?
Yeah, to come back.
For what? 1 credit for what?
I don't even know, some elective or whatever I had to do, like going back to do like yoga or something. Like, I'm not doing that. And so the company I was at then, I got on the plane and one of the publicists there called me and they were like, I think it was UTA maybe, was hiring for their corporate communications department.
Okay.
And they were like, I got you an interview if you can be here on Tuesday. I was at LAX. So I literally flew back to Florida and then made my mom drive with me up to Tallahassee,
Wow.
which was 7 hours away from Fort Lauderdale,
Wow.
to convince the dean to let me finish that credit in
Wow.
California. And I sat there all day trying to get them to like agree to this. And like, I didn't have an appointment. I didn't have anything. I'm like banging on all these people's doors being like, please talk to me, you know, whatever.
Amazing.
Flew back. It went to the UTA interview. Didn't get the job.
Okay.
But then I was already here. So I'm like, I have to figure it out.
Right.
And I don't even, honestly, it's like a blur. I blocked that part of my life out. But I ended up at Rogers & Cowan.
Okay.
And there was a position opened on the chairman's desk, Paul Block, who was like a legend and represented like Michael Keaton and, you know, John Travolta and like the big A-list actors, right? But the one thing about his desk was he was so old school that there was a policy that you had to be on his desk at 6:45 in the morning.
Wow.
Every single day.
So as one of his assistants.
Because Paul didn't use email, didn't use a computer, didn't use
Really?
anything. So like his assistant was basically him.
That's
So like
hilarious.
every single day he wanted to roll the same calls to like Jerry Bruckheimer and like all the people on the East Coast, and you had to be there at 6:45 because he would call at 6:48 every single morning.
Wow.
And you had to answer the phone. So I would open the door with the security. They were at the Pacific Design Center. And so I literally worked there. And I was like, I'll take it. I'll literally do anything. And it was the best decision of my entire life.
Wow.
Because nobody wanted that job, but having that job and that access was worth every single sleepless night. So I worked there at 6:45 until whatever, 6 o'clock at night. And then I went to school at Loyola Marymount to finish my 1 credit from 7 to 10 o'clock at night.
Every night?
Yeah.
You had to go to do 1 credit every single
it was
night?
like whatever, 3 days a week or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
That's far. That's running
I
into
know, and I
LA.
would fucking sit from going from the Pacific Design Center all the way
Right.
there in rush hour traffic.
That's horrific.
and then would repeat the same thing over and over until I
Right.
was done. But doing that and like having that
Wow.
opportunity to be immersed with all of those people
Wow.
was an opportunity that you couldn't pass up.
Yeah.
And like everyone else, and nowadays I'm like, this generation would have never done that.
Yeah.
But
I
I was
know.
like, it was such a different time then, and I would have done anything.
Yeah.
So doing that and having that opportunity was just life-changing for me. And then from there, I went in-house at Maker Studios because they were looking for like a young publicist to come in-house and kind of run, you know, their life and style department when YouTubers kind of became a thing. And I'm like, who the fuck is Strawberry 17? Like, I don't know. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
recognized that
Right.
there was such a corporate ladder
Right.
to climb at some of these old school
Right.
companies. And I was like, there's no way that it would take me years.
Right.
And like so many politics that like, you know me, I'm like not that.
Right.
And I saw the opportunity because I was like, that is the next wave of talent, right?
Right.
So I went in-house there. I had no idea who any of these people were. And the only contacts I had were obviously the traditional contacts from Rogers & Cowan, you know, like the ones that I was just like turning down stuff.
Right.
But all these people owed me so many favors from like all the times I've helped them on that desk. So when
this was getting publicity for the YouTubers. That were
yeah,
at
so when I
Makers-
went in-house
Wow.
at Maker Studios, they were like, how is this girl getting them on the carpet at the VMAs and the covers of whatever and on GMA? And it's
Right.
because I only knew those people.
Right.
And still to this day, I
Right.
always try to tell people there's such a big difference going from traditional to digital than from digital to traditional.
Wow.
And like that was what the what's that word?
Wow.
Like that's the difference
Yeah.
between
Differential.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between everybody who started in digital that was trying to cross over, they didn't know those people.
Right.
And when everyone was like, I don't want an influencer. I don't even understand what it is.
Wow. I feel like that too. Like even starting in law, like I started old school where people were faxing agreements. And if I wanted to get something done, a question answered, I had to like call them.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't call me back if they
Yeah.
didn't know you. So I would like run into them at an event. Oh, hi, Mr. Passman.
Yeah.
It's me. You know? Yeah. So same thing, right?
Yeah. It was just such a different world. So I did that. And then it was right during the Disney acquisition. And I was like, this is so corporate. I don't want to be a corporate publicist.
So Disney bought them.
Disney acquired
Got
Maker,
it.
yeah, because essentially Maker Studios was like an MCN.
Yeah.
And that was basically like the agents at the
Yeah.
time for the YouTube channels. And all of these people were getting so much press.
What
from
does MCN stand for? again?
Multi-channel network.
Yeah, that was a thing then.
It was such a thing because there was nobody monetizing the space.
Right.
You know, so, and none of these people had quote unquote managers. It was just like whatever revenue you can generate from the YouTube channels
Right.
is kind of what it was. And so it was becoming so corporate. And all of these people that had crossover careers, whether it was like actors or artists or whatever, their YouTube channel was signed to Disney. But they were like, if you leave, we'll leave with you. I'm like, leave with me to go where? What am I
Right.
going to do?
What am I going to do?
I was going to go back to Rogers and Cowan, and I was just like, why would I bring them an entire new department that they have no idea what I'm going to
Right.
they would never, first of all, they would never respect me enough to actually build a business for them.
Right.
And they wouldn't even know what to do with these people.
Right.
And so literally I was like driving home one day and I was like, what if I just like started my own company? Like what is the worst thing that could happen?
Wow.
And so I literally brought it to the clients that were going to leave and they're like, yeah, we'll leave with you. And I'm like, okay. So I literally launched Timeline as a PR company out of like my apartment. And I was basically doing it myself at Maker anyway. So it just kind of continued. And then from there, I had met Chantel.
Chantel Jeffries.
Chantel Jeffries, yeah. And first as just her publicist, but then kind of became her manager when I recognized what she was getting booked to do. And she was getting booked to do a lot of club appearances. And I was like, that's not a career. There's always going to be like a younger, prettier person to host a club.
Right.
But she had a huge Snapchat.
Right.
And
wow.
every time she would get into an Uber, she would say, can you pass me the aux? And would play all these up-and-coming artists. And, you know, it became a thing. And I was like, what if you learn to DJ? And so she learned to DJ. And then obviously me.
Yeah.
I was like, if you can get booked to DJ and host and get booked to promote it on your Snapchat, you can triple the revenue stream.
Yeah.
And so we started to do that and kind of like created a formula.
Yeah.
And then transitioned into management.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, forget PR.
Yeah.
Like I just
I
tapped a
know.
whole new industry.
I know. I want to go back though for a second because
Yeah.
you are such a unicorn and you have so many verticals and it's just a testament to your intuition and your confidence.
Oh, that's
I mean,
very sweet.
even getting off the plane with your mom years ago, being in college and being like, I've arrived,
Yeah.
you know, like you've made it, you know, it's like that passion and that energy is so refreshing and you're such a light.
Oh,
And going
I
back
appreciate
there with that confidence, I mean, tell me about some of the people that you met at these PR companies and they found out you were leaving. Were people supportive of you or like how did that work?
You know what? I feel like I've always, not that I've always been in like a lane of my own,
Yeah.
but I've never been one to like succumb to the noise around me.
Okay.
And I've just been so laser focused on like what I believed in.
Yeah.
And like I have always been able to like recognize
Right.
like the stuff that I was really good at and the stuff that I wasn't.
Right.
So when I decided to go to Maker, everyone at like Rogers and Cowan and all these other companies that I knew, like, why would you go from like the biggest PR company at the time to like a YouTube situation? And everyone was like, why would you do that?
Yeah. And what is YouTube anyway?
Yeah, and like
Right.
no one knew what it was. And I was just like, because if I can run my own thing there and like learn a completely different industry, then that is a gap in the market. Like that's how you actually propel forward.
Right.
Right. And so I was never one to just be content. So no, nobody was everyone just talks shit. Like, everyone talks shit.
Like
And
what?
Just like always behind my back, or like always like being like, oh, what is she going to do now? Or like, why is she doing that? Like, just never.
Did you know that they were doing this?
I mean, I knew that I was always the youngest person in the companies.
Yes.
So it was always.
You're pretty much the youngest person
and
in
even
our work
now.
group.
Yeah, like even now.
Yeah.
So I was always the one that everyone was like, ugh, she's just like, not, I wouldn't say like, I don't want to ever say like jealous or anything like that, but it was never people that were like rooting for me. It was always like, I felt like people were like rooting for me to fail. Because it was like, oh, I told you so, or like, you should have listened.
Yeah,
like that kind of energy. And then when I went into Maker, and obviously there was success there, and I realized what the opportunity was. And then when I opened Timeline, there was this one time I was like catching up with a friend of mine at the time who was also a publicist. And I had said, I think I'm going to open up my own PR firm. And it was like the craziest concept I could have ever said to her.
Wow.
And we were like in the car on the way back, and I guess like at the table she must have like texted her boyfriend being like, oh, this is what she's going to do. She's going to open up her own PR firm. Can you believe it? And when we were in the car, she had said, hey, can you put a song on? And like handed me her phone. And as I went to go put the song on, the text from her boyfriend popped up, and it was like, she's such a joke, or like said something so mean.
Wow.
And I saw it, and I just like turned white, and she knew that I saw it. And it was just like a validation to me that like there's so much noise and like just negative vibes around that I was just like, I don't need any of that.
Wow.
You know, like people want to like put you in a box and keep you there.
So she knew that you saw this?
Yeah, she knew.
So it was uncomfortable.
It was totally uncomfortable. I mean,
you didn't say anything to her.
I mean, I was just like, that's really a shame that that's what you think of me, or like I said something to that. And like, I feel like still to this day, like she knows, and even like all the other publicists around, like never thought that Timeline was going to be successful because no one ever thought that influencers were going to become what they became. And honestly, being at the ground level of that, you know, opened up an entire new industry for me. Yeah. And so even now, like the people that are still doing the same things over and over and over again will always like make jokes like as Timeline becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Be like, I cannot believe that's what it actually turned into.
Incredible.
You know?
You know, you and I have that in common, to follow your gut, you know? Because, I mean, the same thing. Like, you know, people, we always laugh, right? Because people always say, why'd you decide you open your own firm? It's like, really? Like, no one wanted us, you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here?
It's not even that. It's like, you need to be able to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And like, no one's going to hand you anything in life. So, like, if you believe in yourself, what is the worst thing that can possibly happen? And I always say this to all of my clients, and just it's the motto that I live by. The worst thing that can happen is, like, I tried, I took a chance on myself, and it didn't work, right?
That's right.
And if it didn't work, then I would go find a job.
Failure's not an option.
And, like, if you don't try, then you can never say that coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I've always had in my mind, I'll just move back to New Paltz.
Yeah.
And just go and play in my band at P&G's.
Yeah. But like if you
guitar
didn't,
lessons.
But you would have never known if it would have worked or not.
Right.
If you didn't make that first step to believing in yourself.
Right. So now, you signed Chantel Jeffries. She becomes an anomaly. And then how did you and I, well, I'll tell you this. I think I met your husband before you, right? Did I? Because we were hiking, or I was trying to get him to hike with us?
After.
Okay, because I was trying. He wasn't your husband then.
He was not my husband then. Yeah,
no, neither one of you wanted to come hiking with me.
Still don't want to go hiking with you.
You never do. No, you shut me down, both of you. You're made for each other.
Yeah, still don't want to do that.
So
but yeah.
I got introduced to you by Celine, right?
Yep.
Our good friend Celine Joshua.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Celine also recognized that influencers were a thing.
Yeah.
And at the time, she was at
Epic. Head of Commerce.
Yes.
Running digital at Epic.
And she was the one who actually, funny enough, found Jake Paul.
She did?
Yeah, and she's the one who recognized that there was a gap in the market to utilize influencers to help artists.
Wow.
And obviously Jake Paul went on and like put out a song and now is like a boxer.
Right. He's kicking the shit out of everybody.
Literally.
Yeah.
But she recognized that there was an opportunity with influential talent like that. And her and Chantel were friends, and we both actually kind of got set up to like meet at a dinner. And I'm like, what am I doing? Why are we doing this? And then it was Celine, and she like dragged me to like French Montana's party that night, and it was just like, I'm like, what is my life? But whatever. We ended up, fast forward to Chantel was the first influencer to get a record deal.
That's right.
And put out her own music and become a producer and like, build a career like that. And obviously so many people had followed suit after.
How soon after you met Celine did she introduce you to me?
Immediately, because we were going to do the deal with Epic.
With Epic, that's
and
right.
She was like, and I'm going to send you over an offer. And me and Chantel are looking at each other being like, we don't know how to do that.
I was representing 21 Savage, so she said.
No. You were not representing Savage
at that time, I wasn't even at
this
all?
is like, Dina, this is like so many years. Like
this
2017.
Is way before. Okay, way
like
before.
2016, like so long ago. And we were like,
I can't remember jack shit because you're so much younger than me. You got to remember it.
I'm like, we need a music manager. And she was like, meet Dina. And we walk in, and me and Chantel are sitting there, and we're like, we know nothing about this, but teach us. And then you were like, I know nothing about influencers. And I'm like, great, let me send you all of these people, and you should start a division.
That's right.
To do this.
That's right. And then I was still teaching at UCLA.
Yes.
So then I started putting this into my curriculum at UCLA.
Because okay, let me tell you something about you. You, obviously, you're an incredible force, right? And you're so smart and so intelligent and exactly what you know, and you've obviously been doing this forever. But what's really refreshing about you is you can recognize when there's something that you don't know and be like, let me immerse myself and be the first one to kind of build a new thing, right? So like, obviously I'm like talking about like social media and like influencers, and you're like, well, I don't know what that is, but
Facebook. Yeah. No, I know. And I remember even when you were educating me about all this, and I really got in the trenches with you and Chantel, and I'm teaching at UCLA, and I started talking about marketing and promotion in digital market. And I had people that were in my class from the labels that didn't even have this yet at the labels.
And not only that, it's like all of these people were just bubbling as terms of like influencers that no one had lawyers. And I was like, Dina, if you are one to sign some of these talent and represent them, and we kind of like built the format of like how to build a contract for a brand deal. Like, what are we negotiating? What are the rights? What are this? What are that? And now everyone kind of, not that they didn't follow us, but like
followed us.
They kind of followed that model.
I love it. Now we have 4 attorneys here at the firm that are in rotation on all of the influencers that come in. It's amazing.
And it's a huge business.
Huge business. And it's really fun.
It's
fun. You have some great people like Anastasia Karanicolo, Stassi, who we love, and Jamie Lynn Spears, who's also amazing, but Maddie White, which was incredible when she was in Fashion Week a couple years ago. Remember you cut up her... Tell that story that because that went viral.
It
right?
did go viral.
Because she was supposed to be a runway model for Prada.
So Maddie is so incredible because she was she was the first person on TikTok to make these like talking videos. Yeah. And she's one of the only people that can actually cut and sew and design. And you can physically watch her do it on her channel. So she's kind of owned that space. And so she was, her dream was to go to Fashion Week in Paris and like wanted like the big shows, like the Dior's and the Pradas and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if you like brought your TikTok basically to Fashion Week? And I'm like, obviously we got Prada's permission, but I'm like, if you basically took a Prada outfit and you DIY'd it and then showed up at the show in an outfit that no one's ever seen before.
Because you just cut it up
and you did it, and you're going to be wearing like a one of one. I'm like,
Wow.
that's iconic. And I
Wow.
was like, that's how you actually separate yourself.
Wow.
And like, it was like the publicist in me that came out. And so I was like, how do you make a PR moment?
Yeah.
And I feel like now there's so many managers that like represent influencers or
Yeah.
like who's not an influencer.
Yeah.
But I've always taken a very like 360 approach kind of from the PR in me of like, how do you make something a moment? It's not just about showing up.
Yeah.
But like,
You're
how do
good
you
at that.
separate yourself
Yeah.
from everybody else?
You know, one of the big things I learned from you and all the clients that we do together now is, you know, all these amazing fashion things. You know, it's like I've always been in music, so my aesthetic is like rock and roll chic from like Steven Tyler
Rock
and I.
and
We
roll
wear the
chic.
same size, you know. But you know, you started educating me on, you know, all different types of like things that you can do, you know, and how you look all put together all the time. And I just started kind of like being in, when you spend time with people,
Yeah.
you just start to take on things that they do. And one of the things that always impressed me about you, no matter what we did, okay, we meet for breakfast at Beverly Glen Deli, or you come over to the office, or, you know, wherever we go, like you're always put together. You're always ready for, you know, someone's going to walk in that room.
Yeah, because you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah. And I say it in the book, in the chapter Madman Reality versus Barbie World Fantasy.
Yeah.
I said, you can't show up for a meeting with Steven Tyler or Cardi B looking like a slob kebab.
Yeah.
That's attributed to you. That's a quote in the book to you.
Well, listen, I do believe that.
Yes, you do.
And I just think that you, like, if you look good, you
Right.
feel good
That's
about
right.
yourself. And when
That's
you
right.
feel good, you attract positive things
That's
and
right.
opportunities. And you just never know who you're going to bump into.
That's right.
Like, I could have bumped into my husband somewhere.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
and you did.
And I did.
Yeah. Yeah. And but I just love that because that's really good. Like, you know, you and I, we surround ourselves a lot with women. We are both of us mentor women. We encourage women. We bring women up, you know, and I think it's important for them to know that we are in a man's world. Like, it is hard to compete out there, whether you're in a corporate position somewhere, you know, like Maker Studio in Disney, or you're even in your own boutique firms like you and I.
Well, not boutique anymore because
Well,
now I have.
You're partnered with Live Nation.
Yeah,
You know? I'm always boutique, bitches. Okay? I'm boutique, bitches. I'm going to say what I want. You know? No, but the point of the matter is we play in a man's world no matter what. You know.
Because I think as a younger female coming up in this industry, I think so many times, you know, females try to present themselves that are like overly sexual or like trying to like appeal to the men in like a different way. And I've never wanted to fall into that situation because you can look and feel a certain way in your personal life. But like when you show up in a business and you want to be respected, you know, it's really important that people meet you for the first time and have a certain expectation because you can never redo a first impression of someone.
You can never redo a first impression of someone. And you know what? I want to talk about this for a second because, you know, I love like all my, you know, my makeup and my hair. I've always been into this, you know, and I see that for straight women. Like you have to, you know, you cannot be flirting with anyone. I mean, girl, I'm a big old lesbian. I go in there, my hair flipping. I'm like, oh, you look so hot today. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And it is hilarious, you know? I could do that, but, you know, none of my straight men can do that. Women friends can do that because of...
It's a very different relationship. And I think, obviously, the business is so male-dominated that even to get any respect, just like from what you're able to provide, like outside of looks, it's very important to have the separation.
Yeah, even during the pandemic, where everybody was like forced to be at home and we're in isolation. Like one of my clients is an executive, and you know her boss was like, you know, let's, you know, we should get together just, you know, and just have a cocktail in the yard.
Yeah.
And, you know, she called me and she's like, you know, what do you think about that? And I go, you know what? No, if other people are going to go with you, great, but not you. And she's like, really? I go, yeah, if you were a bra, you could sit out there and
Yeah.
have cocktails in the yard all day long.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I've been in those situations.
Yeah.
I've definitely been in the situations where someone has tried to, like, make a move or do
Oh,
something
yeah.
or, you know.
I
And
talk about it. I was sexually harassed like 15 years ago. Eddie
Yeah.
Money was my bodyguard. You know?
yeah. So, and I get it.
crazy.
But I've always been very intentional with the
Right.
situations that I've tried to put myself in and how I present myself.
Yeah, you're
just for that
classy.
reason.
I love
try.
that. You're classy.
I try.
Yeah. Can't be a slob kebab.
You cannot be a slob kebab.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you meet Scott. So this was great. Your husband, Scott Fisher, who's also in this space, which is pretty incredible.
What's so crazy is me and Scott literally did the same thing. Like, we lived parallel lives and didn't know it. Scott moved from Canada by himself to LA and was representing YouTubers and started his own company. And obviously, I moved from Florida to LA and was doing the same thing
Crazy.
and lived parallel lives for, I want to say, like 6 years.
Yeah.
And then
Didn't even know each other.
didn't know each other. Well, I didn't know him.
Right.
He knew me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know him.
And I knew him because his partner, Lisa, was taking my class at UCLA to
Yes.
learn about music stuff because they
Yes.
were really big in this digital space.
Yeah, and we basically got set up. He was going to bring in a bunch of management companies and kind of fold them together, similar to like how Maverick did. And I wasn't really down to do that, but they were like, you should meet Scott. And I like went to the bathroom and she group texted us like on the spot. Otherwise, I've never gone on a blind date in my entire life, let alone like I don't really do like meeting. Like I don't like to meet people, like guys specifically like that, like for drinks or whatever. And group texted me, so I was put on the spot and I was like, fuck. And obviously I had to answer, and I had like a meeting scheduled a few days later, and I was like, let me just do it back to back because otherwise I was never gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like met him at what's the restaurant? Everly on Sunset.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
walk in, and I'm like, who is this? And we sat down, and he started just asking me literally like 20 questions, and I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, is this business or personal? And me just like bluntly saying that, and he's like turned white and was like, well, what do you want it to be? And I'm like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
like-
I could hear him say that.
yeah. And I was like, you're either like my soulmate or my stalker, because he knew so much stuff. Like he totally must have like stalked me.
Did you say that?
Yes, I said you're literally either my soulmate or my stalker, and this is so weird. I've never been in a situation like this. And it turned out he was both, because then he eventually came clean that he did stalk me.
That's
but he also
hilarious.
was my soulmate.
And now you have 2 kids and
now
you're
we
married.
have 2 kids and we're married, and the rest
Amazing.
is history.
I know.
So he never actually got to acquire Timeline,
Yeah, he never
But,
did. Well,
no.
you know.
but you know,
Anyway, but now you've done a partnership with Live Nation.
I have.
So they're supporting your efforts to move into the vertical space of music and also the touring stuff. So tell me about this, because this is unique.
Yeah. So when for years, there's been so many different people who have always been like, come in-house here. Can we acquire Timeline? Can you launch our digital department? Like, can you do all these things? And it never really felt right, because I didn't want to just go somewhere to do the same thing over and over and over again, because I could do that independently. And so when the Live Nation partnership kind of came about, I again recognize what the future is going to be. And there's so many influencers, and it's so overly saturated now, right? And when podcasts kind of became a thing and they started touring.
Wait, this is a thing? This is a thing.
When touring became a thing, very surface level, still, I recognized that there was a gap in the market again. And so when the Live Nation partnership kind of came about, I was like, I think that there's a huge gap between touring in the influencer creator untraditional music space and the music space. And Live Nation obviously is the biggest conglomerate in the music space and touring. And I was like, do you guys have anyone doing this? And honestly, they didn't.
Right.
And they've never, on the management side, they've never had a creator management company. So Timely was the first creator management company to kind of go in-house there, which was amazing because it kind of opened the door for the creator economy as a whole.
Wow.
Right? And then the touring situation was we basically are the hub within Live Nation now that does all non-traditional music tours. And we essentially act as producer. So Live Nation's the promoter. Timeline is the producer to kind of act as the puppeteer to help managers, agents, publicists, anyone who has a non-traditional talent. If you don't come from music, you have no idea how to package and build a tour. And a lot of these talent who are signed to all these agencies don't have a music agent or a touring agent. Like me, our clients wouldn't have known how to do that. So if you can have someone within the Live Nation ecosystem act as a producer for you and put all of the pieces together, take the load off of the agents and the managers and help package it, you're set up for success like a real artist
that's
is.
amazing.
And so we launched this division and, you know, me being me, I'm like, I don't want to do the same stuff over and over again. And so what I did first was recognize, you know, I think reality TV and unscripted TV come with such a huge fan base.
Yeah.
And so we did a deal with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and we toured them off of their Netflix show, and it was very successful.
Wow.
And then we did The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which actually is nominated for an Emmy right now off of Hulu. And we started their tour.
Wow.
And the next one that's going out is a hugely popular YouTube series called Gracie's Corner.
Wow.
Which is massive in the kids space. And they are going to tour also, and that's going out in August.
What venues do these people go to?
Right now they're doing theater-sized venues.
They are. Okay. And what is their performance? What are they
They're all different. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders obviously did a lot of their signature,
dances,
thunderstruck and dances. But what was interesting, what we did with them is they have a live audition process to be casted into, obviously, the squad. And so we came up with the idea that if we did it like kind of American Idol and it was live voting at the shows to send someone to the final round, kind of like what's that show?
AGT.
Yes, America's Got Talent. Very similarly.
That's
and
amazing.
The audience voted on someone from each city to send.
Wow.
So we did that. The Mormons, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, it was kind of like an extension of what their show is, live in person, a lot of audience interaction and very similar to like a reunion type of situation.
Wow.
And Gracie's Corner that's going out is an extension of all of the characters and interaction that you get on the YouTube channel in person for kids.
Wow.
And they're doing a similar model to like Disney on Ice, and they have 2 shows a day. Because
that's crazy.
Kids in between the nap schedules.
That's amazing. How old are the kids on there?
Well, it's characters led by Gracie, who is the main one.
Yeah, but how old are these demographics?
I mean, it's anywhere from 5 to 13 is probably like the core of it.
Wow, that's incredible. Again. New space.
Completely new space.
So we can probably know in a couple years everybody's going to be doing it.
Everyone's going to be doing it. And through the end of the year, we have a lot of other stuff lined up. We're doing something in the health and wellness space. We're doing something in the political space.
Wow. What are you doing in the health and wellness space? Can't tell us?
Well, I will tell you separately, but
okay.
It's exciting.
Exciting. In the political space, I can't wait for that.
Yeah. That's an interesting one, too. But listen, anything untraditional and the wildest ideas is what I like to do. Like we're doing something in the food space. There's so many different opportunities in the live entertainment space that have not been tapped yet.
Yeah.
So if you need help, come to Timeline.
This is a good segue to, this is Alexis Fisher. And how do people reach you, Alexis? What is it? What's your Instagram?
Not my Instagram, Dina.
Go to Timeline.
You can go to Timeline. I think it's timelinemanagementstill.com.
Yeah, timelinemanagement.com. But people want to follow you. I like to follow you. It's interesting.
It's just my kids.
Right, but it's fun. It's interesting.
You can tag me.
Yeah, I tag you
can
at
tag me,
Alexis
yeah.
Fisher.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So many people out there want to break into this industry, which is very competitive. Like, if you can give someone 3 tips, you got on a plane and came from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are some of the tips that you would tell people to do?
Honestly, there is actually no substitution for putting in the work and the time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times this generation wants to take like the easy way out and like wants a lot of things handed to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just genuinely feel like if you don't put in the time and the work, somebody else wants it more than you do.
That's right.
So that is number 1. Number 2, I would say, if you're going to invest in anything, I would invest in yourself. Because you should want it more than anybody else, right? And like, if you can have the confidence in yourself and do the work to really make yourself the best version that you can be, then that is a superpower.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the third thing, I honestly would say that if you put in the work and the time and you give it your all during certain hours, you also need time to build your personal life. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't only be work and you can't only be
I
fun.
forgot to do that.
And like, for me, I'm so blessed to obviously have my family and my kids and also have a successful career. But I think that there's a beauty in finding balance.
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. Balance is something that I've been struggling with my whole life. But I have my kids now, so they force you to have balance.
Yeah, they force you to have balance.
That's right.
And I can also say, like, obviously my life has changed since having kids, and I can't just, like, gallivant around the world and, be on a yacht in Europe all the time. But there is something so special that you wouldn't trade for the world of having your kids,
You got a lot of balls in the air, constantly doing a ton of things, and you juggle a lot. How do you find balance? Like, what is your wellness routine?
You know what? I am doing a lot. I recently, I have a 5-week-old now.
Yeah.
So I've set new boundaries for myself. And so something that's really important to me now is being able to do drop off and pick up for Ryan. So everyone knows that, like, I am not available at, like, from 1 to 2 when I pick up my daughter. Okay. And then in the mornings. And then I'll go to the office in the mornings and then work from home in the afternoons because for me, I didn't grow up with nannies. Wow. And I feel like it's really important that when my kids come out of school, they see their mom or their dad. So for me, I've created boundaries to try to balance both my work life and, my home life. And something that I do just to, like, that, like, de-stresses me that, like, no one else thinks that is de-stressing is my favorite thing to do is go to the grocery store. And
oh my God, it gives me anxiety.
And I literally just like to stroll up and down the aisles, and then I'll come home and I cook dinner. And it is like this, that does it for me, like working out does it for you.
Wow. So let me ask you a question. So when you are strolling through the aisles, which would send me straight to, like, the bottle, okay, the liquor aisle, because it gives me anxiety. So I can't go to a grocery store or I'll relapse, people. But when you're in the store, and do people, are you picking up work calls?
I mean, like, I'll pick them up, but I'm so distracted because I fully, like, I feel like it's like the shopping mall for me.
Okay.
Like, I genuinely really like to, like, stock my fridge. And I'm always known as, like, when all of my kids' friends comes over, it's like the house that has, like, the best snacks.
That's like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, and I really like it.
Like, you're going to start something. Like, she started Goop Kitchen because she was, like, the friend in the friend group she cooks.
My secret goal in life is to open a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, like, I'd
come there.
I would love to do it, and I like to cook, and I don't know. There's something about, like, bringing people together, and I always have the house that everybody is in. Like, I like hosting.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah, that's what my
Yeah.
hidden agenda is.
I love that. Hey, listen, if you could have dinner with one person in the world, living or passed away, who would that be?
One person living or passed away.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably my mom. Maybe I said that last time too. I think my mom. And she's still here, but it's like life is so short.
Yeah.
And you just never know
That's right.
what's going to happen. So you might as well spend the time with the people who you want most around you.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, I can't get through the day without talking to my mom.
I love that.
She sometimes drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But like,
No.
I still, you know,
Yeah.
you always need your person.
Yeah. I wish my mom was alive. Because that's the person I would choose to have dinner with.
See, we're the same.
We are the same.
We are the
yes,
same.
we are. Well, you've heard it here on the Stiletto Room with Alexis Fisher. She is absolutely an unapologetic original. So stay tuned for more episodes, and you can catch us on at the Stiletto Room and our YouTube channel. Peace.
My stilettos.